Right, in this set of videos we're going to start looking at using PowerPoint in a very different way. We're going to be creating a multimedia experience on it. We'll talk a bit more a little bit later. We'll talk a bit more about what we mean by multimedia. But for now, what we want to start to create is one of those sort of touch button exhibits that is you get a museum. So, if not already, I will be giving you a list of museums to choose from, and then we're going to make a PowerPoint so that when it runs, you can only click on the buttons and it goes to different areas and gives you information. For my one that I'm going to do throughout these user guides, I'm going to be using the Deep in Hull. Okay, that's one of my favourite places to go. So we're going to go for that. Now, before we start talking about multimedia and what that is, we need to think about how we're going to set up our slide. The worst thing you can do is launch straight and create loads of stuff, then realize you haven't got the things that you need. Okay, one of the major things that we have is a navigation system. Okay, so a navigation system is a set of buttons or a set of images you can click on to move to another slide. Now, PowerPoint you probably used so far with running it, so maybe clicking this button down here, or just going to slideshow and going slideshow from the beginning, or current slide and running a slideshow. We can actually use it so that the user cannot click on anything other than the buttons, and they can jump around and go to different places. So what we need is a menu system that's going to allow us to do that. So before we start putting in the actual buttons for the menu system, we need to decide where they're going to go, and then we need to put the multimedia content in, and then we can put the buttons in. So the first guide is going to look at what we call a master slide. So a master slide is like a template. So it's like a way of working so that you have kind of the same style on every slide. So every time you create a new slide down the side, you have the same style. So to do that, we go to View at the top, and we go Slide Master. So this is our master slide of the things we can edit. We have an overall master slide there, so that's our overall style, and we also have sort of sub styles for the different types of slide that we might use. Okay, I found the easiest thing to do is to focus on this first major overall one to get an overall design. Okay, however, later on we might need to pick one of these up and make a change to the way this one looks. So on our slide master, it says every time we pick a new slide, it's going to come up with white, and it's going to stick this box in and this box in. So what I want is I'm going to blank off a section there for my title. I'm going to blank off a section on the side for my navigation. Your navigation might go in different positions. So to do that, I'm going to insert just a box. Okay, so I'm going to put this section here, and I'm going to say I want that to be my title. And what you'll notice is all of your boxes, the box will go into, and if you click on one of these, you can't actually move the box. Okay, so we need to be on the top one. So when we've got that in, I'm going to choose my style. So as it's the Deep, I'm going to actually have a blue background, and I'm going to have a green section. Okay, and I quite like that green. So I'm going to have that there. I'm going to do another one, which is where my navigation buttons are going to go. So exactly the same, I'm going to click that down, and we're going to have another section for my buttons. Obviously, these bits here, the text and writing have gone in front. So let's right click on these and send them to the back. So right click, send to back, so they're behind. So now I've got to think about on my slide, what do I want on every single slide? Well, I've got where my title's going to go, I've got where my side section is going to be, where the navigation is going to be. This bit here I'm going to drag in because I don't want it to be in the whole section or going into the navigation section. The one thing to remember is you can change these on the actual individual slides. This one here, I am going to decide the text color and style that I want. So I'm going to highlight that, and I think I am going to have a style that looks something like this. So I'm going to have a nice blue. So do I want? Let's think about this. I will have. I quite like that one. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to drag that in, and that is what my title is going to look like. That's what my title is going to be. This writing here, well, actually, I don't know what colour the background is going to be, so I'm going to select a background now. So I'm going to go to my backgrounds. I think it might be under Slide Master. It is Slide Master background styles, and I'm going to have a nice blue. Okay. Now there are different styles. I'm going to keep that style because I quite like that style. Okay, you'll notice the writing has changed to white. That's absolutely fine. So I'm happy with that. That I've got my nice title in there, and I've got my information in there. What else do I want to be on every single slide? Well, actually, I think I might want the logo up here, and I might want some bubbles or something down there. So for the logo, I've gone on to, if I go into Google, I've actually already got the Deeps logo, so I'm going to copy that. And we're going to go back here and we're going to paste that on as an image. So I'm going to drag that a bit smaller so it fits into there, and then I'm going to put maybe a nice border on that. So I'm going to go for a picture border that's going to be sort of a blue colour. That's going to go with my blue down here. And also I said I want some bubbles down there. Now what I could do is I could get some pictures of some bubbles. I'm just going to draw some. So I'm going to insert shapes. I'm going to use a circle, and I'm going to draw some bubbles down here. I'm going to use this style up here for my bubbles. So I'm going to have one there, and a bubble there. I'm going to make that bubble slightly bigger. I want it, and then a smaller one here. I might keep one there. Just move this down so on every page, just about there. So on every page I've got, let's try to zoom in, sorry. Every page I've got some bubbles there. They're bubbling up from the bottom. Okay, so that's what I want to appear on every single slide. Every single slide I want my title, a place for my text, I want the image of the logo, I want a background colour, I want a section for navigation, I want a section for a title, and I'm going to have some bubbles that are going to go on. And when I've finished, we click on Slide Master and we go Close, and you'll notice that that's already there. Because this is a title slide, it's got stuff in different places. But if I click New Slide, there we go. If I click New Slide again, they all now stay the same. So I've got my setup ready to put my information in. When you do it, you decide what you want in your Slide Master. You might not want a bar for the title, you might do. You might want your navigation going across there. You might want your navigation at the bottom. You might not want bubbles or anything in there. You might want other images in, but it's what will appear on every slide. So from here, I'm going to put my titles in, my writing and my pictures, and then later on I'll stick my buttons onto there. So that's kind of the first task for you to get on with, is to make sure you've set out your master slide so you've got your styles for each slide.